Hello, in this lecture we are going to talk about the decision trees. Decision trees are widely used models for classification and regression tasks. Essentially, they learn a hierarchy of if-else questions and leads to a decision. In decision tree, we use the terminology as a root node, child node, and leaf node. Root node is the node or parent node from where the child nodes are extracted. Child nodes have the further child nodes are the nodes which have the further nodes, and in the tree structure there are the leaf nodes. Leaf nodes are the nodes which have no further child nodes, so these are called as a leaf node, just like in this graph example. So the first node is the root node is has features, the child node is can fly, has fins. These two are the child nodes, and the leaf nodes are hawk, penguin, dolphin, and deer. We go through the basic process of building the decision tree for 2D classifier data set shown in the figure. The data set consists of two half moon shapes with each classes contains 50 data points, and we refer to as a two moons data set. Learning a decision tree means learning the sequence of if-else questions that gets us to the true answer most quickly. In machine learning, these questions are tests. We put some tests. So these tests should not be confused with the test set. Tests that are used on continuous data shown in the figure are of the form is feature I larger than feature value A. So this decision trees can also be applied on the regression data. So where it could be that feature I is larger than value A or less than value A, etc. So for this, we install the library GraphBase, and then we install the mglearn library. So then some other things about the decision trees. Decision trees are structured classifiers. So decision nodes test something based on some attributes. Decision nodes, they test something about uh, based on some attributes, and the leaf nodes, they show the classification value or the example. Decision trees work for both classification and regression, but generally decision trees are popular for classification tasks. So here we are going to learn the mglearn library. So I run all the code these codes one by one so that we can judge it. So the first library is installed, then install the mglearn library. It will take few seconds to install. The second library installed, then we import the mglearn and GraphVis dataset, and then we are going to plot it like this way. So we have plot this two half moon dataset. This is one half moon, and this is other two moons dataset. This is one moon, and this is the other moon. Then we apply the decision tree algorithm, taking some attribute and keeping the value of attribute as 0.06. And if we keep the value of 0.06, then initially the data sets have 50 data points, and then we take the attribute and keep it as a 0.06. Then we get a split in the vertically, where most of the points they belong to class one class, and most of the other points they belong to the other class. So the first split is two classes they belong to the in the first split. Lower side, 2 points they belong to class say 0, and other points they belong to class 1. And this upper side, uh, class 0, it contains 48 points, and class 1, it contains the 18 points. So then we keep splitting this data set, and it looks like this way. So then we from these nodes, we make the child nodes, and then when we split more, then we see that here we get only 2 points from the data points from the class 0, and 0 point from class 1, 0 point from class 0, and 32 points from class 1. So these are the pure nodes, and we need not to go further because all the data points from these nodes, they belong to one class, either class 0 or class 1. It is like this one, 20, and this one 32, because in these two boundaries, there all the points, they belong to one class. But here and here, these are the regions where the points, there is a mixture of the points. So we can go for these nodes, child nodes, and we can see that 47 points from class 0, and 8 points from class 1, and 1 point from class 0, and 10 points from class 1. So we can further separate these two region, and if we in the further depth, so this was the depth 0. So in this, for the first case, we have the depth of 1, and then we have the depth of 2, and it proceeds, it's go on up to the depth of 9. So here is the explanation for this decision tree classifier. Figure with depth is equal to 1. This figure, this one, shows the first test that is picked. Splitting the dataset vertically at x is equal to 0.06 yields the most information. It best separates the points in class 1 from the points in class 0. The top node, also called the root, represents the whole dataset consisting of 50 points belonging to class 0 and 50 points belonging to class 1. The split is shown by testing whether x is equal to 1, indicated by a line. If the test is true, a point is assigned to the left node, which contains 2 points belonging to class 0 and 32 points belonging to class 1. Otherwise, the point is assigned to the right node, which contains 48 points belonging to class 0 and 18 points belonging to class 1. These two nodes correspond to the top and the bottom regions shown in figure. Even though shown in figure at depth level 1, even though the first split did a good job for separating the two classes, the problem region still the bottom region still contains points belonging to class 0, and the top region still contains points belonging to class 1. We can build a more accurate model by repeating the process for looking for the best test in both regions. Figure with depth is equal to 2 shows the most informative. Next split for the left and right region is based on x is equal to 0, the attribute x is equal to 0. This recursive process yields a binary tree of decision with each node containing a test set, containing a test. Alternatively, you can think of each test as splitting the part of the data that is currently being considered along one axis. This yields a view of algorithm as building hierarchical partitioning. As each test concerns only a single feature, the region in the resulting partitioning always has axis parallel boundaries. The recursive partitioning of data is repeated until the region in the partition only contains a single target value, either belonging to class 0 or all the points belonging to class 1. A leaf of the tree that contains data points that share the same target value is called the pure. A leaf that contains all the data points from the same class is called the pure leaf. Final partitioning of the dataset is shown in figure 9. This is the final partitioning of the dataset at the depth level 9. A prediction on a new data point is made by checking the region of the partition of feature space the point lies in, and then predicting the majority target in that region. The region can be found by traversing the tree from the root and going left or right depending upon whether the test is fulfilled or not. It is also possible to use the trees for regression tasks. Using exactly the same technique to make a prediction, we traverse the tree based on the test in each node and find the leaf new data point falls into. The output of this data point is the mean target of the training points in this leaf. Then we come to the controlling the complexity of decision tree. Typically building a tree as described here and continuing until all leaves are pure leads to the model that is very complex and overfitting. To get a very pure leaf nodes that contains all the data from the same class, all the data points from the same class, that leads to overfitting. The presence of pure leaves, that means that a tree is 100% accurate on the training set. Each data point in the training set is in the leaf has the correct majority of class. This leads to overfitting. Overfitting can be seen on the left of the figure with depth is equal to 9. Where the depth is equal to 9, we can see that overfitting, that this is the region that is going to fit only a single point, but this point may be the noisy point. This blue point may be the noisy point. Similarly, likewise, this point data is going to fit this point, and it could be a noisy point. Always the boundary of the classifier, it should be the smooth. It should not be like haphazard or short. The boundary of the decision tree should be the smooth. That is called to be a good classifier. You can see that the regions determined to belong to class 1 in the middle of all the points belonging to class 0. On the other hand, this is a small strip predicted as class 0 around the points belonging to class 1. This is not how one would imagine the decision boundary to look like. The decision boundary focuses a lot on the single outlier points that are far away from the other points in that class. There are two common strategies to prevent overfitting. Number one is stopping the creation of tree early, stopping the creation of tree earlier and building the tree, but removing or collapsing the nodes that contain different information. Removing or collapsing the nodes that contains different information in a small number. Possible criteria for pruning, pre-pruning include limiting maximum depth of the tree. We have to limit the depth of the tree at level 4, at level 3, etc., depending upon the requirement. Limiting the maximum number of leaves, we can put that it could be minimum or maximum number of leaves could be 5 or 10 or like that. Requiring a minimum number of points in a node to keep it splitting, or requiring a minimum number of points, we can say that the leaf node should contain minimum 10 points or 5 points. So these are the conditions. Decision tree in scikit-learn are implemented in the decision tree regressor. Decision tree in scikit-learn are implemented in the decision tree regressor and decision tree classifier classes. Scikit-learn only implements pre-pruning and but not implement the post-pruning. Let's look at the effect of pre-pruning in more details on the breast cancer dataset. We import the dataset and split it into training and test part. Then we build a model using the default setting of fully developed tree. So here we import the decision tree classifier from sklearn, load the breast cancer dataset, and import the train test split, and then we load the dataset into a cancer variable object, and then we split it into train test, and then we apply the we store the we create an object of the classifier, decision tree classifier, then apply it on the apply the decision tree classifier on training and testing data, and do like that. So we see that the training set has an accuracy of 100% and test set has an accuracy of 93%. As expected, the on the training set is 100% because the leaves are pure. The tree pure leaves means that the leaves contain all the labels from the same class. Pure leaves nodes means all the leaves they contain all the labels from the same class. The tree was grown deeply enough that it could perfectly memorize all the labels on the training set. The test set accuracy is slightly worse than for the linear model. We run this same code with the linear model, but now the accuracy is a little worse. And we looked at previously it was around 95%. If we do not restrict the depth of the decision tree, the tree can become arbitrarily deep and complex if we do not restrict the depth of the tree. Unprone trees are therefore prone to overfitting and not generalized well to new data. Unprone trees are prone to overfitting and does not generalize well to new data. Now let's apply pre-pruning to the tree, which will stop developing the tree before we perfectly fit it to the training data. One option is to stop building the tree after a certain depth has reached. We should stop the tree after a certain depth has reached. Here we set maximum depth is equal to 4, meaning that only 4 consecutive questions can be asked. Limiting the depth of the tree decreases overfitting. This leads to lower accuracy on the training set, but improved accuracy on the test set. So what we do is that we call the decision tree classifier, and now we fix the maximum depth is equal to 4, and then train and test and fit it and check the accuracy, and we see that the training set accuracy is 98% and test set accuracy is 95%. Next we discuss the analyzing decision trees.